In this session, I will start with a quick recap of the three types of arbitration from an award enforcement perspective. Then we will talk about the arbitral award, the form and content of an award, the termination of proceedings, correction and interpretation of the award and additional award, application for setting aside arbitral award, that is the recourse against arbitral awards. We will look at the finality of the arbitral awards, and lastly, what are appealable awards. I will also refer to the relevant sections of the Act that cover these aspects. So let us get started with the three types of arbitration from an award enforcement perspective. First one is domestic arbitration. If the parties to the arbitration are Indian, the process takes place in India, and the dispute is decided on the basis of any substantive Indian law, it will be called a domestic arbitration. A domestic arbitration results in a domestic award. Next comes international commercial arbitration, where one of the parties to the dispute is a citizen or a resident of a foreign country, or one of the parties is a legal person or company that is based or controlled from outside India, or one of the parties is a foreign government. Next is foreign arbitration, where the arbitration is conducted in a place outside India, and the award is sought to be enforced as a foreign award in India. The reason for this recap is that Part 1 of the Act covers domestic arbitration and international commercial arbitration awards, whereas Part 2 of the Act addresses the enforcement of foreign arbitration awards. Before moving, first let us talk about what is this arbitral award. Well, the decision of the tribunal is called the award. It is the outcome of the resolution process. The award may be temporary, interlocutory, or partial arbitral award, or it may be the final award itself. It may be a simple non-monetary award with the dispute being settled without any exchange of money, or the award may require payment of money, cancellation, rectification, or fulfillment of a contract, or the setting aside of a document. In short, there is a wide degree of flexibility available to the arbitrators in terms of the award, either as set forth in the original agreement or as decided by the tribunal within the scope of their powers. From an enforcement perspective, awards may be classified into two basic categories: domestic awards and international commercial awards, which are covered under Part 1 of the Act, and foreign awards, which are covered under Part 2 of the Act. Domestic awards are the outcome of domestic arbitration. When both the parties are of Indian origin and the nationality is also regulated by Indian law, a domestic award may be given by a tribunal in India or even by a foreign state. Foreign awards are the outcome of foreign arbitration. To be classified as a foreign award, one or more of the following criteria have to be fulfilled. They are: arbitration must have been held in a foreign country. The award should be from a foreign arbitrator. The arbitration must be done by applying foreign laws. One of the parties is a foreign national or a foreign legal person. And in any case, the legal relationship between the parties should be considered as commercial under the law in force in India. Section 31 talks about the form and content of an arbitral award. It covers the basics of the award, which include the requirements like it should be in writing, it should be signed, the reasons for the award should be clearly mentioned, the date and place of arbitration should be mentioned, both the parties should receive copies of the award, and the details of the costs and calculation of the costs and the parties liable for the costs must be specified. So this section is quite simple and self-explanatory. Section 32 talks about the termination of proceedings. I have already spoken about this previously. The arbitration proceedings can be terminated either when the tribunal gives an award, or if the claim itself is withdrawn, or both the parties agree to terminate the proceedings, or the tribunal decides that the arbitration is unnecessary or impossible. In either of these situations, the proceedings of the arbitration can be terminated under Section 32 of the Act. Section 33 talks about correction and interpretation of the award or additional award. Within 30 days of the award, Any of the parties may request the tribunal to make any corrections, such as calculations or clerical errors. They can ask for interpretation or clarification on any part of the award, or request for additional arbitral awards on the basis of the original claims. Unless a different time frame is agreed to by the parties, the tribunal will complete the corrections and interpretation or give the clarifications within 30 days of receiving the requests, or within 60 days in case of any request for additional awards. Section 34 talks about the application for setting aside the arbitral award or recourses against arbitral award. It says that an arbitral award may be set aside by the court only if it involves any of the following situations: incapacity of the party, or invalidity of the agreement, or in the absence of any proper notice to a party, or if the award is beyond the scope of reference, or there is a illegality in the composition of the arbitral tribunal or the arbitration procedure, or the dispute itself is non-arbitrable, or if the award is in conflict with a public policy. So in either of these cases, the court can decide to set aside the arbitral award. Section 35 talks about the finality of the arbitral awards. It simply states that subject to the provisions of Part 1 of the Act, an arbitral award shall be final and binding on the parties and the persons claiming under them respectively. Section 36 talks about enforcement of the arbitral awards. If there is no application for setting aside an arbitral award as per the provisions of Section 34, the award can be enforced under Section 36. The enforcement will be under the provisions of the Code of Civil Procedure in the same manner as if it was a decree of the court. All the details that we have discussed so far cover both domestic arbitration and international commercial arbitration, because both of them are covered under Part 1 of the Act. Now let us look at Part 2 of the Act, which deals with the enforcement of certain foreign awards. So foreign awards are covered under two categories under this Act: awards enforced under the New York Convention, awards enforced under the Geneva Convention. I will not go much into the depth of the enforcement of foreign awards, since this is not so important from a syllabus or from an exam perspective. However, you should read the bare Act to get an overview of the various rules and conditions for enforcement. In general, foreign arbitration awards are enforceable in India if the court is convinced that the award is valid under the laws of the country where the arbitration was conducted, the process was done in accordance with the agreement, the award was not influenced or affected by fraud, corruption, or undue influence, the award does not conflict with any of the applicable laws or the fundamental policies of India, and the award meets the basic notions of morality and natural justice. Where the court is satisfied that the foreign award is enforceable under Part 2 of the Act, the award shall be deemed to be a decree of the court. This is stated under Section 49 for awards covered under the New York Convention and Section 58 for Geneva Convention awards. Let us now talk about appealable awards. In general, as long as all the procedural formalities have been met, the arbitration awards cannot be appealed against. However, the Act does provide a few grounds on which awards can be appealed. An award may be challenged in court if the tribunal acted out of its jurisdiction, or there was a serious irregularity in the process, or the award is against the laws of India or against public policy, or if the parties have a concern with regards to any of the interim measures connected with the award. These grounds for appeal are covered under Section 37 for domestic arbitration, Section 50 for foreign awards under the New York Convention, and Section 59 for foreign awards under the Geneva Convention. You should read these three sections, 37, 50 and 59, in the bare Act to understand them a little more. They are quite short and self-explanatory. We will conclude this video here, and I will see you in the next session. If you have any questions or feedback, you can post them in the comments below. And please do like, subscribe and share this video.